All right. Good morning, everyone. Happy Friday. Good morning, BBT family. Good morning over on YouTube. Hopefully, you guys are doing well today. Hope you guys had an incredible day yesterday and are having an amazing morning so far. So, on a little bit early, we'll get going around 8:30, but just to kind of get things warmed up a little bit here. As you guys know, on Fridays, we do not have engineering the markets. So, we go straight into the pre-market prep with Norm and I. So around 8:30 we'll get started. But I'm sitting here just waiting and I get impatient. So I figure I'm just gonna come on while I am still enjoying some pretty good coffee. My coffee came out really good today, guys. I don't know about yours, but I don't know what I did, but it's hitting the spot, that's for sure. So hopefully you're enjoying your cup of brew, tea, coffee, whatever you're into, vodka in the morning, and are having an excellent morning. So yours too? Is it a Friday thing, Roofless Rico? It's probably a Friday thing. I also did get like 9 hours of sleep last night, which is man, you can really tell the difference when you get anything above 8. You really can tell the difference. Let's jump in. Let's see some of the stuff we had here yesterday, guys. I mean, the SPY just insane. Huge drop yesterday here. It's also 420. It's 422. Yeah, right. It's probably some of that. So dispensary, speaking of, opened up here in New Jersey yesterday. So now you are able to get recreational, goods at a couple dispensaries. And one of my friends stopped by one of them. And I text him. He's a big fan, not of the show. He's a big fan of the other stuff. And I text him, say, "Hey, man, it's a big day for you." And he texted me back. I already went to the one in Bloomfield, and it is completely packed. The line is out the door. I'm like, yeah, you got to give it at least 2 weeks for things to settle down. I'm sure everybody's going insane. So we'll see how that plays out. I thought you. Well, you know what? The thing is, the people that are doing this were doing this already. It's just legal now. It's just legalized. But it's not. My friend, he does this. It's a household thing. You know, he's older. He's from the '60s, and he calls it. Listen, man, if you were in that era and you survived, you're in good shape. Weed is the least thing of his worries. The chemical stuff that was going on back then was a lot more scary than a couple of plants and organic stuff. So, he calls it turbulent '70s. So, yeah, it's not gonna make the driving a little more crazy. It might, but who knows? All right, cool. Guys, SPY yesterday, huge drop here. I mean, Feds. Now, I have not dug into the news too much. I'm gonna check this out now, and maybe you guys can help me out. Is what the Fed announced ain't something that we already knew? I mean, didn't we know we're going to do 50 basis points? That's not nothing new, right? I mean, or did I miss something? Again, I wasn't around in the afternoon. I was getting my daughter's passport, which, oh my gosh, so expensive, just to get a piece of paper. But is there anything new? Is CMake a good platform? Yes, really good platform, Troy. I have an account with them as well, and they're really solid. Few people here have an account with them. They're more expensive than like Interactive Brokers or any US based broker. And they got some quirky things that you got to deal with, but it's the best broker if you're trying to trade under 25K, right? Even under 30K, because 30, if you have 30,000, you only have a $5,000 buffer with a US broker. You don't want to have that pressure, right? So again, unless you have a 40,000 plus, 35 plus, you have to go with a broker that's going to give you a lot more room. You don't want to have that pressure starting out that you cannot take a couple of losses and be under the PDT rule. You definitely want to start with just 25K because the first loss, you're out of the game, right? You can intraday trade, which hopefully is a rule that goes away. Trading has changed a lot, right? With the commissions, commissions have become a lot more competitive and easier for us day traders to get into trading. But that's the one thing. That's probably the one rule that still is tough to get around. So hopefully the SEC can look at that and just kind of get away from that because I understand the reason why they placed that rule. There's some reasons behind it, but it doesn't apply now with how many retail traders are trading. Um, Oh yes, the average sweats, as just said, or just use a cash account. The only thing with a cash account is some of the restrictions you have. You can short things, right? And the way we trade, shorting is a big part of the process. But I do know a couple of people that just use a cash account and they just go long, right? So they're specific on looking for those long opportunities, which is another way to trade as well, right? Whatever can get your foot in the door, and if you're comfortable with, you can do that. So yeah. Um, looking at each meeting, high probability of 50-point basis each one. Okay, so that's the difference there, Jared. Thank you for clarifying that. So for each meeting, they're looking at 50 basis point for each meeting. And how many meetings do we have? Is it 4 a year, or is it more than that? Yeah, so that's significant. That is a big a change there for sure. Dan, so that we now will fill our potholes. Man, we have the worst roads in the country. Good
What's
morning,
up?
Norm. How you doing today?
Well. How are you? There's 8 meetings a year, by the way, but
Eight.
they can
Wow.
always. But
Yeah.
that doesn't really matter. They can always call an emergency meeting if they felt it necessary.
Good
So
point.
the number
Good
of
point.
meetings doesn't really matter,
So that's
and
what's
they don't have
new.
to raise a
Yeah.
half point at every one either. Though they're
Yeah.
just if something changes, if they see the slowdown coming faster than anticipated, they put on the brakes.
They can always. So so with I mean, it's kind of nothing new, really, but I don't know. I don't know. It's definitely affected the spot yesterday the way it's dropped here. But it's nothing off the wall. I mean, we kind of know that, but I guess when you hear it's a little bit different, right? Um, but yeah, guys, that's where we're at with that. Despite taking a big drop yesterday, and then everything else
Transitory.
just went
They
with
in reality
that.
they got rid of transitory like 6 months ago almost, but
Yeah, yeah. Um,
uh Sion,
s-
who was that? Was it Bullard? I can't remember which one was Daily Bullard. I can't remember who it was.
mhm.
Bullard. He started speaking at 12:30.
Yesterday.
Yeah, I believe so.
Uh, Apparently, the UK has passed the PDT rule to interactive brokers. Found out. Yeah, there's some countries that don't have that. For example, if you're in Canada, you can use interactive brokers. You don't have the PDT rule. You don't get 4-to-1 margins. You get less, but you can. Again, it's
It's
just
like
a
three and
U.
a third to one, so it's not too
Yeah,
different.
yeah. So it's a US rule that eventually, hopefully, goes away or allow more people to try day trading, right? With smaller accounts, because again, it's not easy to have $30,000 to go try a day trading, right? That's not easy to do. But you can have
That's
10.
like
You
a
can
two by
have
four these days, though.
right, dude. Wood is so expensive. Guys, I
Yeah,
did
it's come down, but it's still bad.
I did demolition on my place on my second floor in the worst time ever. Every time I got the bill, man, I'm like, dude, you're buying wood. What is this? You're not buying a freaking marble floors or something. It
Yeah.
was insane, insane. So
The other, I'll note one thing. I know we got to go
yeah, yeah.
live here in a second. Oh, we're already live.
We're live, man. We're good
Look
to
at,
go.
oh
We're
man.
we're relaxed Monday, Friday today.
Okay. Well,
Yeah, yeah.
I'm out of mini vodka bottles in here, so it can't be too relaxed. But well, another thing on the cash account, while you can do it to start out and try, like you said, you got problems, you can't go short. You also have
Hmm.
settlement issues, which
Yes.
the system is very antiquated in
Hmm.
the sense that if you buy something and sell something, it's not until 2 days later that technically that transaction takes place and settles in your account. That money's tied up until then. So,
Yeah, yeah. So if you
aka
have
T plus two,
10,000.
it used to be T plus three until
Oh,
about
I was
what
gonna say I thought it was
18 months or
three.
2 years. Yeah,
Okay, so it's two now. That's getting better. Again, it's just quirky things that they got out there that hopefully as things continue to progress in overall trading and brokers. The PDT is probably the biggest one that if that one goes away, you'll
I
have a
don't see
lot
that
of.
happening.
I don't neither, but we'll have to see. We'll have to see. All right, guys, let's get to it. Let's take a look here. Good morning, guys. For those joining us now, welcome to pre-market prep. Hope you guys are having an amazing morning. Hope you guys had a great day yesterday. If you're over on YouTube, good morning, my friends. Hit that thumbs up as we get going here. Let's look at that gappers list today. So a couple of things in the green this morning, and again, we had just a bloodbath yesterday, so not surprising that some of these are gapping up slightly. We got a couple of airlines here. You got Chinese stocks seem to be having a little pop this morning. So we'll get into those as well. And then on the downside, we do have GPS and VZ, which I'm not sure what company that is, but we'll look at that as well. On yesterday's list, we'll go quickly through this. We had a pretty decent gappers list yesterday, guys. We had American Airlines, which had amazing news. Pre-market action was a lot of fun. But look at the sell-off, and you're going to see this across the board with just a SPY selling down and just kind of pushing everything down here. So here's American Airlines big pop. It just kind of gave it all back yesterday morning there throughout the entire day. You did have Tesla as well. Also, Tesla very strong pre-market. I thought this thing was going to just continue to take off here, but again, the SPY, the overall market has just a different plans for all these tickers, right? As you can see, selling down here, giving back the gains for the pre-market and then some yesterday. Netflix, surprisingly, Netflix didn't sell off too crazy, too bad. I mean, you did had a nice pop off here in the first 5 minute candle that you kind of sold off, and then you had a little bit of sell off. It just came back, so they didn't continue selling down like many other stocks did following the SPY. Obviously, Netflix is beat up quite a bit, and will be in play for some time, or at least we'll be watching it for some time here. Here's Apple. Great start to the day, guys. There's some stocks I think would have been very strong. Apple's one of them. You could tell Apple is not trying to sell off here. Apple's trying to get back to that 180 where it usually finds resistance, but you can see here, it just couldn't beat the overall market selling off and eventually gave in. But Apple was ready to explode here, I think. That's my thoughts on it. So again, another one that we'll be watching closely. Nvidia didn't have a chance yesterday. Look at this here. It starts to get going, and then the aggressive sell-off. What a beautiful short on Nvidia, and CCL very choppy until it finally gave into the overall market here. So good stuff. Let's see how we end this Friday, guys. It's going to be exciting. Let's take a look at the overall market and how we're doing here.
Yeah, I apologize. I didn't get a chance to update this economic calendar, and so that is incorrect this morning. It's for yesterday. Although we've got today is 9:45, the S&P Global U.S. Manufacturing PMI and Services PMI. So I don't really expect a lot out of that. In the middle of earnings season, we've got a number of earnings plays going on. China has slowed down considerably, and Beijing announced some stimulus measures. That is why, as we mentioned before you started going into those, we see some Chinese stocks up. So, yeah, let's dive into it.
All right, let's dig in. Let's head over here to our list. We'll remove the stuff from yesterday. We'll get rid of that. I know I'm going to be watching definitely Netflix. I'm going to be keeping an eye on that one. So Netflix is on deck here. I want to keep an eye on Apple as well. I think that this stock is going to be trading very well in the next coming days. So I'm going to keep an eye on that one. Let's take a look at our gap up list today. CLF. Is this think this is Clorox. If it is,
No, that's Cleveland Cliffs.
oh, it's a different
They had
one.
earnings this morning, and they surprised to the upside, so doing well.
All right, so CLF here doing well this morning. Um, right at the top of this consolidation range that they had a couple of days here, just been slamming against that 3170, might be 3180. Not the best intraday trading stock, but I do like this daily for a possible breakout, guys. We just have to see if they can get the momentum and get going. Again, not usually one of our favorites, but let's keep an eye on this one. Up 7.2, leading the gap up this morning. Next, we have JD here, as Norm mentioned, some of the Chinese stocks on the way up. JD's pre-market's not looking very good here, so I'm gonna pass on this one, or maybe a possible. We'll come back to it. CVNA has been in play the last couple of days with earnings and selling down here. Today they're up 3.3. Possible because I'm not a big fan on how they trade. Although yesterday had a nice sell-off yesterday here towards the later parts of the day, right? So nice sell-off there, rough start, but a pretty good sell-off there towards the later parts. Here is United Airlines. I think the airlines will be interesting to watch. You can look at United Airlines or you can look at American Airlines. I'll be looking at American Airlines. That one has been a little bit cleaner. Doesn't have great volume today, and then United will be on my secondary list. See if they're going to have a possible move today. United does look a little bit cleaner on the daily, though. So maybe United will be the one that will keep on deck. More Chinese stocks here. We have Billy and we have Baba just disappear from here, but Billy here again. They're gapping up slightly around that 2%, but they're not looking great pre-market. So we'll have to wait here. Baba, for the most part, light volume as well, just went under 2% there. So hopping off the gappers list. We have this Chin Data Group coming up here. The CD looks horrible. I don't like anything on this right now. Lower price stock, two under $5 for the most part. Yeah, so not really liking that. Let's see what's gapping down today. GPS. This is a gap, and they're
Yeah,
taking a 16% hit this morning. Um,
CEO of Old Navy, bye bye.
mm, mm.
And they've got some sales issues, so they're getting smoked today.
Yeah, they're definitely getting a nice big drop here. Definitely gonna have them on my list, guys. Retail companies don't usually trade all that well, but they got a couple of catalysts here for GPS that's worth taking a look at. So, GPS on deck. ALV down 6.3. Spread is a little scary on this. 30 cents right now, and it looks very choppy, and the volume
This is a
usually not there.
Swedish auto part company. I'd run from
Mm.
it.
Oh yeah. Let's not even touch that. Doesn't look great, guys. VZ. This is Verizon. Okay, so Verizon down 2.5. They don't trade very well. They're not the best intraday trading stock. Their price actually a little funky. Sitting on the New York Stock Exchange. Any news
Yeah,
on
they had
this?
the earnings today.
They had earnings. All right, so not doing a whole lot. Well, they're down just a little bit. Maybe possible. We'll come back to it again. I don't have a lot of hopes for Verizon. They usually don't trade very well,
I
even with
agree.
earnings, right?
Yep, 100%, brother.
Yeah. ABB, this is down 2%. Horrible daily action, very light volume. I'm sure we can find something better than this guy. So I'm not liking that on one bit this morning. All right, Norm, anything you got your eyes on today?
The tweeter, sir.
Yeah, of course, of course. Let's look at that TWTR here this morning. Again, we're continuing to consolidate here. Are you expecting a breakout, Norm, at some point?
I don't know what I'm expecting. I mean, but this is obviously still in the news. Yesterday, Musk came out with some info on financing for a tender offer, which is directly going to the shareholders and offering to buy stock at a certain price, often with stipulations, including, for instance, this offer is only valid if 60% of the outstanding shares agree to sell to me at this level. So who knows? Still a long road ahead here, but this guy ain't going to give up. I don't
Yeah.
see this going away anytime soon.
Yeah, he is.
It's not his MO.
That's right. That's right. He is after it. And who knows? One of those offers might just be good enough for them to abandon ship there and give him what he wants. So, TWTR guys looking good pre-market right now too. 1.5 million. We got a nice little pop here. Again, we have a nice consolidation we've been struggling with the last couple of days here, from 45 to about 47, 88 or so. Let's see if we can get some kind of action today. But looking good this morning. Um, all right, let's take it to the chat, guys. Let's see what else we have here. Starting with Abby, we'll start with you. AXP this morning. American Express. Yeah, this is one that is tough to trade. They don't get great volume. I see they're
Yeah.
down here 1.2, only 74,000 shares traded right now. Even when they got volume, which by the way, this is probably good volume for them in the pre-market because they just don't get volume. If you look at their daily, the on average, what is this? Maybe 4 million, if that might be a little bit lower. So you're not going to get a whole lot of activity on this. That's the only reason why I'm not going to add it on here, Abby. It's just too light on volume for us. Nvidia right now, pretty much flat. You do got a little bit of volume. Nice drop yesterday, so will be interesting today, I think. Yeah, we'll add Nvidia, and it's been trading so well too, very clean. So I wouldn't mind watching that one. Tesla will be interesting as well, I think. I mean, they had a two. 2 days where they gapped up but sold off. So gap no slightly sold off here, gapped up yesterday, sold off. Today they're just above the previous day close. We'll have to see how they play out here. But I think Tesla will be interesting to watch as well. Netflix, we do have on deck, and Twitter is good. Thank you, Alfredo, for those. Chris MC, our buddy, our friend here. We have AMD and Oxy. Um, AMD, you know what? You could keep AMD. I'm gonna keep Nvidia, and I'm sure many others will watch AMD. And you guys call it off. You see something great there. Let's take a look at Oxy. Oxy not doing a whole lot today, but we'll have to wait for the market open to see how that's gonna play out. The dad trader NEM. I think we looked at this before, and it wasn't
It must
great.
it, it must really be Friday.
Yeah.
Well, you're sitting here going through that discussion. We're having a constitutional law chat going on in the chat at the same time.
It definitely is Friday. I missed that chat. Let me see. Is that coming up? Oh, yeah, I see it.
We're talking about the PDT rule, whether it could be deemed unconstitutional, and that's just gotten into a whole bag of can of
yeah,
worms, bag
yeah.
of worms, I guess. If because the metal's gotten so expensive, you can't afford the can anymore, so now it's a bag. Um,
That is great. Uh,
Speaking
yeah,
of metal, Newmont. Yeah,
Newmont.
Newmont.
Yeah, yeah,
They deal in metals. They reported this morning, but it's not a great trader.
yeah. It is not had a nice drop yesterday, but I'm just concerned with the type of volume they're going to get here. Um, all right, let's head on down here, guys. Snap. What do we have? Snap. Man, was they had earnings last night? Snap here. It looks like they'd have
Yes,
something.
yes, they
Okay,
had the
that could be.
earnings.
Yeah, that could be interesting today. Not doing a whole lot. Pretty flat, but you do have 1 million shares traded here. Might be worth keeping an eye on. I'm gonna put it here as on our main list. We might not keep it there because we got one too many so far, but let's see how that goes. We'll keep an eye on it. Earnings 1 million pre-market looking pretty good. D Mouse X. Big drop yesterday, but today I'm not seeing anything great on it. And X has been tough to trade, man. Even with this beautiful daily they have here, they have not been the best intraday trading stock. We used to trade this quite a bit before, but it hasn't been on my list in a while. All right, heading down, we are looking at X. Yeah, I haven't looked at that in some time. Neo. Let's take a look at Neo. Neo this morning, 538, pretty flat right now. I won't add it just yet. If it gets better, if we start breaking out here one way or the other, or if we start getting some significant volume, we could take a look at X. But right now, it's looking pretty quiet for the most part. Um, Sam, Sam had earnings. What is Sam? Oh no,
Samuel Adams,
no. This is not looking
Harry
good
K
at
messing
all.
with me.
Yeah. That's not looking good at all. Plug dropped like a rock yesterday. Many things dropped like a rock yesterday, but Plug did take a little plunge here. Yeah. Seems like their drop was a lot more aggressive than others. Look at this a sell-off on Plug, man. Wow. That was pretty aggressive. Um, so yeah, I plug maybe a continuation. It's not doing a whole lot right now. I like the fact you're at a major area of support resistance, guys, right over here. This 23. Uh, fill me in, brother. Don't
I
leave me
just
out in the
Chris.
dark.
I just kicked Chris MC out of the chat
Oh, you did?
as a joke. He'll be back. I didn't
Oh,
ban
okay,
him or
okay.
anything, but I told him next time he mentioned Aloe, I was going to. So he put that, and I kicked him.
I might as well call out Allah. That's good. It is
Oh,
Friday, guys. We're having a little fun today. Um, what else we have, guys? So yeah, I'm not gonna pull up Aloe, that's for sure. Uh, okay, cool. That's what we have, guys. So I have
he'll be back.
Netflix, I have Apple, I have American Airlines GPS, Twitter, Nvidia, and Snap. So we'll see how that list gonna finalize there.
There
What is
he's
your
back.
mandatory baseball hat today?
No, no hat. I got to take a shower before I got on the show.
Nice.
Chris, Chris, I had to, man. I was just messing with you.
Chris is a longtime buddy of ours. Chris, how long you been? You don't have a star yet, Chris? I feel like you've been here
He's got two
forever.
stars.
Oh, he does. Oh, there it is after the contributor badge. Oh, there we go. There we go.
First time I've seen Norm stoned. No, I'm not stoned. I just got a good night's sleep, and I'm
It
feeling
makes a
happy.
big difference, man. Big difference. I got 8 hours last night, 8 hours the night before, and you could tell big difference. Over on YouTube, my friends, what do you guys like today? Let's go over here. Ben, you're giving us Twitter popping a bit. Yeah, Twitter's on deck. That one is good. Nvidia, a strong buy. We don't know yet. We don't know yet if it's going to be a strong buy. Again, we usually wait for the market
I
open to
wonder,
determine
did
that.
did an analyst or something come out with that? I haven't seen it. That's what I thought he
Hmm.
was saying, or they were
Oh,
saying. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't
I
see
mean,
anything that says
it's,
that. It could
yeah,
be. It's pulled
could
back
be.
a
Pull back a whole lot.
truckload.
Yeah, yeah. So there was talks about even Netflix possibly being a strong buy as well eventually. I mean, this thing is down huge. So I just don't know how that's going to be.
I
Oh,
swear to God,
Harry.
guys, I have not been drinking this morning.
Oh
Apparently, I'm
man,
just in a good mood.
that is all good with us, my
Yeah,
friend.
Netflix. Netflix. We talked about that yesterday.
Yep, yep.
How it was starting to look like it was trying to go green, and it did go green a little bit into the open. It was an excellent short after that, though. Um,
Yeah, yeah. I mean, the overall market just kind of dropped this a little bit there, but yeah, yeah. Was looking pretty strong at first. All right,
for the
over on
first 5 minutes.
YouTube, our friends, let's get started there. We have Disney. Hi, sweetie. 1 second, guys.
Yeah, you can have the car.
She cannot have the car. She's only 8. One
Even
second.
better.
Can you? No, 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 no. All right, I'll see you. Oh man, yeah, we can't approve that. She wants ice cream this early. I'm like, no way, that's not happening. That is
Reminds me of
not
the
happening.
Cosby Show when he makes cake and he's like, flour, eggs, butter, breakfast.
No way, no way. Um,
Um,
all right, so Serafin Lopez, let's start with you. Disney. What do we have here? Oh, pretty flat right now. I mean, it'll be one
so
to
it,
watch.
yeah, Disney's been in the news over Florida legislature getting rid of their special district protections that they've had in place since the 60s. They used to draw them in there. Essentially makes the land that Disney is on Disney's own city, uh,
Hmm,
Disney's own municipal district. So I don't know. It's obviously in the news. It may or may not have a big impact on it. Worth keeping an eye on, but not really doing anything at this point. Plus,
yeah.
they've got the streaming problems too. That's the other major thing. The special district deals causing it to be in the news, but Netflix beat down
Hmm.
and CNN Plus. Did you see that?
I saw that, man.
That's crazy. I
You know
can
how
just
much
tell
they
you from
spent on
having been in
that?
the television business for 20 years that you spend $250 million developing something, and I know they had their staff pushing it like crazy and everything
Right,
else. To
right.
pull the plug in like 2 weeks is
Mm.
absolutely mind-boggling.
Didn't even get a chance to fail or succeed or whatever. It's just crazy, crazy, crazy. Yeah, did not see that coming. Unless they looked at Netflix and say, "Hey, that could be us in a couple of months. Let's just cut it now."
Yeah,
Who knows, man? Who knows? When you got the big giant like this taking a hit, it's not good for everyone in the streaming business. Um, all right, let's see here. Let's go over to so yeah, this the guys again. I'm not seeing anything great on it. I already have Netflix here. I think that would be the bigger one to look at today. So I'm gonna just keep an eye on that one. You could keep an eye on Disney if anything comes up there. KOD. This is gold. What is this? ETF looks like right. Pro shares. What is this? Natural gas. Okay.
not gas.
Yeah. I
Short
don't
nat
usually.
gas.
Yeah, I don't usually look at this one, so you can definitely keep an eye on that one. Netflix beat earnings plus Nora. Yeah, I mean they beat earnings plus three
They
point
lost
five.
subscribers.
Yeah, they yeah,
Their earnings were days ago,
right, right. They
and they got
lost tons.
destroyed on them. They
Yeah,
lost 38% in one day.
yeah, yeah. And they expect to lose more subscribers, and that's what really got them to
Hmm.
drop like that. CLB, no, this is not good, guys. No volume on CLB right now, and doesn't look great for intraday trading stock. What we're looking for here, it's just not looking all that exciting. Um, all right,
Schlumberger
guys.
usually doesn't day trade all too well. Back in the
Yeah.
day, like 10 years ago, it did.
Hmm.
12 years ago, it did. It does not anymore.
Yeah, yeah, not looking good at all there. All right, guys, we'll stop here. Let's take a look over at our announcements and events for next week. Let's go ahead and bring this up over here.
All right. Guys, if you're on YouTube watching, and I will get into the trial membership in a moment, the test drive, but if you've considered becoming a BBT member and you want to give it a shot, now is the time to do it, whether it's today or over the weekend. That way you can go to the orientation, aka onboarding, that Carlos does every Monday night at 7 p.m. You'll get a day in the chat, can kind of mess around and get a feel for it, and then get an in-depth idea of what happens and have the rest of the week to test it out. So, like I said, that's every Monday at 7 p.m. Eastern. Immediately following that at 8 is the technology webinar. So next Monday, Carlos will be doing using scanners and news alerts to find trading opportunities. Tuesday's strategy, Eamon's going to be talking about his parabolic reversal strategy. That is at 5 p.m. Eastern on Tuesday. And then on Wednesday for psychology, next week, we are going to have Mike talking about fear of missing out. That is at 8 p.m. I think I've said it, but just note that special time on Eamon's Tuesday one because of his time zone. It's 5 p.m. So, like I said, 8 p.m. on Tuesday. Then mentorship on Thursdays at 11, 4, and 8. Great stuff. I didn't get to check it out. Was Ed in his mentorship? What did he trade after hours yesterday? Anybody know?
Yeah, I wasn't on it neither.
All right. Sony knows. Pointed out. He's a great earning. He snap. Okay, that makes absolute sense. His Carvana trade that was pointed out the other day was absolutely phenomenal. So, anyway, don't forget about stocktradingsimulator.com. That's where you can find our free web-based replay simulator. And here's that test drive I was discussing earlier. If you go to bearabletraders.com, scroll down about halfway down the page, you'll see the test drive now button. Click on it. It gives you access to the main chat and Ed's chat, that onboarding session too, for 7 calendar days, after which it cancels itself. And if you'd like to become a member, you have to actively change your status. And then if you want to get access to all of the success webinars and mentorship and other webinars I was discussing, you can use the promo code SPRING50 to get part of the elite annual membership.
All right, thank you very much, Norm. All right, guys, let's get to it. So, question by Kareem over on YouTube: is BBT a low flow / small cap traders as well? We do very little of that, but there are some people that do trade small caps. But the majority of stuff we focus on is mid to large flow caps, right? That is our bread and butter because it's just easier to learn those. Eventually, once you get experience and you build that discipline, that's the biggest thing, right? Building that discipline in a live environment. You can dabble with the low flow stuff, but building consistency on low floats, it's very difficult, very difficult, and then it's a whole different style of trading too. You got to sit and watch a lot more, right? You got to sit down and just kind of wait for the opportunity. There might be some days where you just don't trade anything. If you're looking to trade every day, low flows is not it. There's some days you go 2 3 days without trading, when you're
Yeah,
looking for that low
happens.
flow stuff, right? So I used to be in a community that used to do that, and it was just not my style. I couldn't. I want to trade. I want to trade every day.
Wait,
So
we're not a low float community.
no, we're not, Norm. I'm sorry to disappoint you.
I've been here for 4 years. I'm in the wrong
I
place.
yeah, yes, yes, you are. Soon, Norm will be starting his own low flow chat. Anything under 5 million, and you can join then. Where's my picture? Where's my picture here? Here we go. Here we go. Coming soon to you guys. We'll have a new chat room probably 2 weeks from now or
I
so.
love you guys.
All right, guys. Let's get to it. On our list right now, I have one too many. I have Netflix, which not looking great, but I think this is gonna do something today. We'll keep an eye on it. I have Apple, which has a great pre-market activity. I have American Airlines, which actually looks pretty decent here. We have GPS, which is it's okay. It's okay. Nice drop today. Twitter is very good actually. Nvidia is good, and Snap. Not great, but they had earnings last night. Let's see if this thing can do something. They got the volume, but man, their pre-market right now is pretty crappy. So, um, and then we got some stuff on the secondary list. Plug
Me,
Tesla,
me,
Carvana. Yeah.
Aaron on YouTube is asking, do you guys
Hmm.
update the stocks on the simulator only SPY and Apple?
I think that's where you
No,
just
that's
log
just
in
the
at first.
slide. Yeah,
Yeah,
you gotta. If you go over and log in, there's not just SPY and Apple.
yeah.
I
You got to
haven't
change
plugged
them
in
at the
tickers you
top.
can't find. Yeah, you can change them.
Yeah. And then just yeah, when you come in, that's the first thing you see is those two, but you can change that. Um, all right, cool. Carlos Nom, can you comment in the red, white, or black volume bars? Hmm.
Louis, I do hate the low float garbage. I just every once in a while have fun with them, but very small size. Now Chris MC will kick me out.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, wild
TY44,
thing.
are you talking about this volume bars down here? Can we comment on this? I mean, it's just an indicator of how the volume, how much volume is being traded, and whether the candle ended red or green, right? White is green. I like white better than
Mhm.
the actual color
And if
green.
it's black, it means it opened and
It's
closed at the same price.
flat, right? Like this right now, this is pretty flat, this candle. So this is, if this had more volume, it'll be black, right? If it closed flat. So I'm not sure if that's what you meant. Okay, yeah, so yeah, that's what it is. Just kind of tells you whether the candle ended green or not, and then the volume's traded for that candle. So that's all there. All right, cool guys. We have some time, so get ready for some questions after we're done with these levels, or we could do the levels a little bit later as well, since I know people don't like when I do levels before 9, especially my West Coast friends. So we can have time for a little bit of questions now. Carlos, how do you like NUE? Usually not a pre-market, but the price action is clean. I don't think we ever looked at NUE.
Nucor.
Um,
Back in the steel section, it's moving on Cleveland Cliff, and
yeah,
that whole group is moving. They had earnings last night for NUE. Um, it's just I've never liked trading these, but I know some
yeah, I
people
mean,
X is in the same
right,
genre, if you will, and some people have traded X well. I just that
yeah.
ain't my bag, but no.
I mean, I traded X in the past years ago, well, but not recently. And if you look at NUE, my concern with this, guys, yes, you are going to move quite a bit here. The spread's going to be a little bit higher than I like. Even 50 cents for a 176 stock for me is a little too much. When you have like an AMD Apple that have such a tight spread, right? So 50 cents for that is just a little bit higher than what I would like. It's not crazy bad, but it's just a little bit higher than what I would like. And then here, that's going to get better at the open, of course, but not by much because you can tell you're trading 8 million shares and you're moving, so much. You're moving from 170 to 187. That's a $8 move, guys. Yeah, no, sorry, that's a 10, that's an $18 move. $18 move. So, you got to move like that with so little volume. That price actually is not going to be too, it's not going to look too clean. There's going to be a large spread there, I guarantee you. So that's just my take on it. But nothing wrong. It's still moving pretty well right now. This stuff is in play, as Norm mentioned. You can see here how nice this thing popped up. It's just got to be your style of trading, right? You can't go from trading AMD and stocks like Twitter, Nvidia, and even American Airlines to something like this where the movement's a little bit different, the pullbacks are a little more aggressive, and the spread you got to account for that too. So just be aware of that. Um, Carlos Norm, when is a stock a low flow? Usually anything under 20 million, right, Norm? That's what we're
Yeah, I
doing.
mean it's subjective.
Yeah,
It's we usually use under 20, but even those that are, let's say, 20 to 30,
yeah,
40-ish, they sometimes still, depending on other aspects of it, can trade like a lower float too. So
yep. We've seen stocks sometimes that are 50 million shares float that are trading extremely risky, and we say, treat it like a low float because they're going through, through prices like nothing, right? So you got to be very careful at that too. So, um, quick question: will you guys be trading and focusing on those trades in the watch list? Yes. So when we everybody has their watch list, their moderators, we putting their watch list together here shortly, and everyone's going to be looking at what they have on their list. I'm going to try to get this down to 6. I got too many at the moment. And I have my 6 charts that I look at. I put those on there, and I'll be focusing on those. You can focus on 20, 50 different stocks. It just doesn't work. Focus on a few that are in play, and I'll be looking to take opportunities. I'll be looking at the market open. I'm looking for a 5 minute open range breakup or a breakout of a key level, the pre-market high, pre-market low, or a big daily level, previous day close. I'm looking for that price about 10:30 or so. Then after that, I'm switching over to potentially breakouts and maybe some reversals if we get any. But that morning spot is what I'm looking for. And sometimes the stuff I'm watching doesn't trade very well, and you might be able to look at your secondary list and move something up, or see some comments from Andrew or Brian, and when they're trading live, or even the community, when they see something, I can pull it up and we can try to take advantage of that. But for the most part, that is all we're doing.
Now that it's 9 a.m., why don't you go ahead and hit levels, and I'll be
Yeah,
back, and we can do Q&A after.
yeah, you got it, man. I'll
That
get
cool?
through this in this.
All
Yep,
right.
sounds good to me, man. All right, guys, let's get to it. Let's do some levels, and we'll be back with some more questions in just a second here. Let's look at Netflix, right? So Netflix now, guys, we're surrounded by the highs and lows of the last 2 trading days. Price action right now is looking very, very shady. It's just not really doing anything, but I suspect, given how this thing has been trading, that we will get something here. So I am going to put high of the pre-market 221, low of the pre-market 217. 25, and that's all you need on Netflix. You don't need do not need anything else. You're creating a nice little area of support here, guys. Over what's this 212 ish, right? The low from yesterday and the low from the day before we had the massive drop. So maybe that can become the base of this new island we're building here. As you can tell, Netflix has done a few islands and dropped big just not so long ago. Back in January, was that earnings as well? Man, it's just been getting crushed. It probably was. You can see here they held that low for some time, right? The second day low, they held that for a while. Here we're creating another low, so maybe that can be the base for this. We'll see. We'll wait and see how that plays out. Here's Apple, guys, also slamming up against the previous day close and the low for the last 2 trading days. So we'll see if it can find some support there. That is also being surrounded by the previous day close as well. 165.54 is the low of the pre-market. You got a couple of more days down here. I'm going to mark down only this one here, 163.65. If you look at the left, you got a couple of days also kind of, finding some resistance and support right around that area as well. Towards the top, just the high of the pre-market. The rest is set for you by the last 2 trading days. Do not need to add anything more and make this a little more complicated than what it is. Right, you got plenty of stuff there on Apple. Here is American Airlines, guys. Again, big day yesterday for them. Had a very, very positive catalyst, but the overall market had other plans for American Airlines. So you got a nice little drop there. Basically, almost gave everything back. Today, we're getting a little bit of a gap up of 1%. The volume is not there yet, but I'm curious to see what this is going to do. Um, this might be a secondary, might be a secondary for today, actually, because the volume is not explosive. Just the high of the pre-market highs and lows from the last 2 trading days, doing a pretty good job. I don't think you need to add anything else right now. But I am going to move this one down, guys. I just don't think we're getting the volume that we need for American Airlines. Huge level at 2150. Yeah, I can see that on American Airlines 2150. I could see that being a big level there. You got a huge rejection out of that, and if you go back on the daily, yeah, 'cause I remember when we did levels for this yesterday, we did even have this up here, right? We said we might not get there to that 22, might be a little bit lower, 2220. But we did have these levels in here. So who knows? Big rejection off of that. I don't know. I don't think we're going to go test that today, especially on a Friday. I don't think we're going back up there. We might just consolidate here and struggle to go either up or down. So moving it down to a secondary list. If it changes, we can always move it up, guys. Apple is good. American Airlines, we move down. Let's remove it from our main list here. We have Gap. Gap doesn't have great news. CEO issues on their Old Navy. Is Old Navy the parent company of Gap, or Gap? No, I think Old Navy, right? It's the parent company of Gap. It's like three of them combined. Gap. I forget the other one. Is Gap? It's not Armani Exchange. It's another company, Banana Republic. Yeah. So all these three are the same. And Old Navy's the parent company, right? Old Navy parent company. Yeah, correct. All right. So Old Navy's having issues. That's reflecting on Gap this morning. 1160 is the low of the pre-market here. And if we roll to the left, let's see what we got going on. Man, we have not been down here in quite some time. gonna mark down 1555. You could tell here on the daily too, very clear. Is that small for you guys? Very clear there. Maybe we do the levels like this sometimes when it's too small. It's a very clear level there on the daily. Let me know if you guys prefer this, and then we can make some changes where we put our camera here somewhere, put the watch list over here, and have a bigger chart. So if that works better, give me a thumbs up on YouTube, or give me a yes in our chat, and then we'll figure something out. Always looking to improve things. But we have not been down here. So I see a couple of yes, that works better. Okay, good. So we'll make a new template for when we're doing levels so the chart could be a lot bigger. Um, because I know some of you probably on YouTube are watching this on your phone, and I don't know how you can watch this on your phone so small, but I get it. 1728, good level there. Another one over here at 1848. So we haven't been here until August of 2020, and then towards the bottom, we're sitting right at a good level right now in the price action. And then right over here, 1081, and then over here, 985. I don't think we'll get there, but we're not too far from that, guys. We are not too far from that. All right, so that is GPS there. Let's take a look over at Twitter. Twitter right here, we are just surrounded by madness right now. Highs and lows of the last two trading days, and then up over here, we do have a level of 48.75 or 70 or so. Clear level up here, guys, at 54.50 if 50, and then here it's an area because the wicks are not lining up perfectly, but you got this one here closing here, opening slightly below that, wick over all the way over here. So maybe 51.20 is the area you want to have, right? This is kind of an area because we're not lining up perfectly, but we do have an area of places where we have opening and closing right around that area. So maybe we'll keep that on deck there. Let's take a look here at Nvidia. Nvidia, huge drop yesterday. Look at this beautiful consolidation that we had here. And for some reason, man, this 225 was just a tough area to break out of. We were just not able to do that. I mean, every time we hit that, we gapped up, sold off, gapped up, sold off again, gapped up, and then sold off again off that 225. Yesterday, we tried to hit that, right? We went to that 225. Guess what? Things were pointing in the other direction. We broke out so hard, even below the area of support that we had here. So this is a very, very good, interesting setup for Nvidia. I love the daily on this. Nvidia has been trading so well that now we're seeing a pretty good setup on Nvidia. So I'm going to mark down this 208, 207, 808. The bottom low of the pre-market from yesterday's there. Low of the pre-market a little bit higher at 209. So we'll slam a level there. And then if we go to the left, we have not been down here since July, August of last year. And a couple of key levels sticking out here. 187, which is pretty far out. I don't think we're looking to get that low on Nvidia unless something major happens. Zooming in here, we do have a nice area here. A couple of days consolidating, opening, closing, right around that 194. Might actually be 195, but a couple of days, just kind of slamming up against that. You have a lot of touches in that area, so definitely want to have that on deck. All right, cool. We are set there. Let's look at Snap earnings yesterday. Great volume today, but not moving too well in the pre-market. Low of this daily here, we're looking at 27.80. Another day over here. Look at this. Look at this weird man. What happened here? Look how weird this is. We dropped down well below areas of support. This is a huge gap down. What I don't remember, I don't recall what happened here in February. And then the next day, talk about getting I can't say that word, but yes, talk about that. If you were holding here for opportunity, this thing drops down on you, you get all out, and then the next morning you're actually in the green. Man, this will suck. That is horrible. But either way, let's do some levels here. We do have 2650, and then we do have 2431. Yeah, that's not fun, right? I mean, Norm, talk to me about this, man.
I think actually that was when Facebook came out and had their horrible drop on
Yep.
earnings and slowdown. And then the next day, I think Snap reported the next day and popped it right back up,
Hmm.
or reported around the same time. Yeah,
That is
if I
just
remember correctly.
insane, man. I mean,
Yeah.
this is what will drive people to drink. And this is what will drive people to drink. If you're on there and you're holding here long, you got in on a good entry, you get stopped out, and you, the next day you see
Yeah.
this, you would have been up nicely. I mean, it's just the weed dispensaries are open, my friends in New Jersey. You can stop by at any time. I think they're open around 10 o'clock or so. Either way, let's get to it, guys. We got a
How do
pretty
you
good,
wake and bake if they open at 10?
yeah, yeah. I just made. I don't even know if it's at 10. It just sounded good. I figured they're probably gonna open
Oh,
the same time the
okay.
liquor stores do. I think 10 or 11 is the earliest they can open here in Jersey, which really sucks on football Sundays because we're tailgating like at 10 a.m. So if you didn't get your beers
Oh, you
before,
got to plan ahead, brother.
you got to plan ahead. But sometimes it's just last minute, and if you didn't plan ahead, you're in trouble for that first game. Um, all
Well,
right,
you
we.
can't even sell liquor here on Sunday.
Oh, no way. Oh, so you really got to plan ahead.
Beer and
Yeah.
wine you can, but spirits you can't. So
Oh, okay, okay, that makes sense. Um, uh, okay, cool. Let's get to it, guys. So our list is pretty much set. We got time for some Q&A. Netflix, Apple, GPS, Twitter, Nvidia, and Snap. So let's get some questions on this beautiful Friday, 9:10. We got some time. I see their moderators list is not up yet, so we'll
it's
give
a
them a little
beautiful
time.
Friday. You sound like Bob Ross.
You Bob Ross, my
Have
man.
you been in those special new stores, Carlos?
I have not yet, man. I will, but
Okay.
I have not yet.
Okay. Okay.
They don't have chocolate chip cookies though. They only have gummies
Mm,
and other stuff. So
mm.
chocolate chip is where it's at.
Okay. If you say
Yes.
so.
Bob Ross. All right, cool.
It's
Well,
still
let's
a felony to it's still like a felony to have a pinner joint here in Texas. It's crazy.
what is it? We're number 19, the 19 state to actually do it, right? Or 18, something like that. Um, won't be long, man. Won't be long. Um, all right, cool. Questions. They open at 10 in Alberta. Yeah, but Alberta is Canada, right? It's probably been legal since
Yes.
forever, I think, right? Um,
Few couple years.
yeah. You might have been based the night before. Yes. All right, cool. Any questions other than we related stuff? How do we get to a trading terminal? So, trading terminal, my friend, beautiful site. Let me get you a nice view here. Here it is, trading terminal. You come over to stock trading. No, that's a simulator
No,
actually.
that's
That's
different.
a
Yeah.
simulator. Hold on.
You got it on the
Trading
other tab
terminal.
right there.
Oh, I do.
Just
Yeah.
keep in mind, guys, it's in the beta version essentially.
Yeah.
We're still under heavy development, and there might be times when it's either down or things not working exactly right because we've got the development team working on
Yeah. Yeah. So tradingterminal.com, guys, beautiful site. This is just so clean. I love it. No ads, straightforward. If you want to get to news, you do have to sign in. But the beautiful thing is you can sign in with your Google account, which I think everybody has. Which I love this because it makes it easier to just click on that and boom, you're in. So you got access to the news. You got access to a couple of other things in here you can pull up. For example, let's see what's going on with Snap. Snap, right? Earnings. So type in here Snap, and you can get a nice little quick snapshot of what not a Snapchat, a snapshot of what's going on here, right? So
it.
you,
There's your hanging candlestick too.
yeah. What? Oh man, this is insane. Look at this here. I don't think I ever seen something like that. Talk about being shocked. Strong buy is the target at the moment. Target is $74. Well, we'll see. We'll see about that. Seems far away. But yeah, take advantage of it, guys. And then right from here, we got a couple of minutes. You can go right to the simulator. Right to the simulator, completely free, guys. Both services. You can sign up here. Same thing. You can log in, use your Google account as well. Makes it very, very easy. Just come in here and you can
I think you
practice. And
just
for
gave
the
everybody your personal email address.
oh shoot, yeah, right. Don't email me, man. Do not email me there. Email me at carlos@bearwithtraders.com. But here it is, guys. You could change it. It's not just Apple and whatever the other person said. Remember there, you can do Apple. You can do Snapchat here, right? Snap. There it is. And then you can practice. You can go ahead and practice away. So again, both in the beta, so that you might see some funky stuff here and there, but for the most part, they work really well, guys. Really, really well. You even get to see the pre-market at the bottom here. You can forward and go back. There's a couple of videos by Eamon on how to use this. And then you can sign up and get information as well. I think when you sign up, when you log in, you can actually get you can get what is it, like homework alerts. So take advantage of that. All right, perfect, my friends. Moderators lineup. I only have three. Brian coming in with his lineup already. Very nice. Let's go ahead and take a look at that. I'm gonna go ahead and resize this. If you haven't done so on YouTube and you've been having some fun today, take a moment and hit that thumbs up for us. We really appreciate it. It does help out Norm and out a ton. So this is why we ask you. I know some people get annoyed when you ask for likes, but you know what? I gotta remind people sometimes. I gotta give them a little nudge here and there, and we appreciate it very, very much. We really do. So thank you for that. And also, if you are consider subscribing, I know Andrew and Artie are thinking of going live a couple of times a week. So if you don't, so not to miss it, hit that bell so you can get notified when they go live and talk about the overall market, some pretty fun stuff, and all that good stuff there. So take advantage of that. Let's take a look. Yeah, go
Am
ahead.
I the only one that the resolution in the chat room has gone to hell?
It has.
Yeah,
Oh, that's weird.
I don't know. Yeah. Okay.
Anybody
Thank you
else having
guys.
that? Or the
Yeah,
only one other
everybody, it
person?
seems.
Oh, that's weird.
It's
Is it because I did something here? Maybe because I
No, I don't
just.
think it's you. I
Oh,
don't think it's you. My guess is it has to do with the chat servers or something. Hopefully it comes back.
okay. Okay, gotcha.
It's like slowly coming back into focus. Like it woke up and its eyes were kind of, whatever, and it
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
rubbing them as it comes back. Yeah, it's back to normal now, essentially.
Oh,
Must have been
weird.
some slowdown on the servers.
Yeah. Um, guys, let's take a look here. Starting with Mike, we're
We
looking at.
all ate the cookies. Comment of the day from Brendan, not
Yes.
Brendan.
Um, Here we go. We all eat the cookies. Mike B, my friend, we're looking at Facebook, Twitter. Peter, IPOs for today, just two there. Acon and JC, CSE. No SPACs for today. Brian looking at JD, Carvana, CVNA, and GPS for a starter. He'll be announcing a few more a little bit later. Peter looking at AMD, GPS, and CLF. Secondary list Netflix, Twitter, and Apple. All of these are really good, and I completely get why Peter has them on the secondary list. They're not looking great pre-market, but we hope that they can get going. Jairus list Netflix, Twitter, and Snap, and a couple of semis, and he's looking at some notes there on the SPY as well. So, guys, we're pretty set here. 9:17. We're gonna get ready to go live here in the chat room. Brian and Andrew are up next. Our YouTube family, thank you so much for joining us this throughout the week. We appreciate it. We know you have options. We appreciate you guys hanging out with us as we prepare for the market open here. So, um, guys, it is Friday, so you know what that means. Trade safe today. Be completely disciplined. Wait for your setup. Fridays could be a little bit funky at times. There's nothing worse than not following your rules and sitting there Saturday morning, not thinking about your cookies or your pancakes or your eggs, but thinking about how you botched up your trading the day before. You don't want to do that. So please make sure you are disciplined today. Go into the weekend knowing that you follow your rules and you took the time to be focused on your trading. So with that said, guys, have an amazing day over on YouTube. We're going to continue here in our chat. Thumbs up, and we will see you guys on Monday.
Yes. Guys, have a great weekend. Trade safe.